They say that some things just don't go out of style. That the true classics never die. Touring, exploration, combat, and now introducing long-haul freight. The all-new Roberts Space Industries Constellation Taurus. Still does it all.
At Crusader Industries, we believe that our values are more than a standard of behavior. They're our legacy and our inspiration. We don't defend them through sheer size or firepower alone. We ally ourselves with those who share our core beliefs. We make sure the real heroes make it to where they're needed most. At Crusader Industries, we know that lifting up others benefits us all.
Alright guys, we're probably going to start. I'm not going to wait the whole 7 minutes. And, alright, so chat should be on the screen. And you should also be able to see Blender. And, right, let me know if you want chat on or off the screen. It's probably better off to have it off actually. Because it is going to take up some of the room. There we go. Right. So, what we're going to be doing, guys, is we're going to go through and we're going to rig this wolf here, but we're going to do it ourselves. Main reason is because, well, to be honest, the guy that rigged this did not make it O3DE compatible. So, let's open, don't save. We go to E drive, new folder, the animals, wolf new, sorry, I know that, models, animals, wolf, right, yeah, okay, so I was right, sorry, animals, wolf new. And then we've got wolf, wolf idle, wolf run, and wolf walk. Now, wolf run does this, but it's not compatible either. So that's another problem for another time. So if I go, we minimize that, bring up O3DE. Jump into that. My cat has come to join us. Right, so here's the wolf. Now I've just simply downloaded this model from files, right? We're just testing and playing around at the moment. I have my character and I have an AI character that I've made. And he doesn't do much at the moment, or he, she, it, whatever. So if I go up to here, as you can see, Wolfie isn't doing so well. But at the very least it's moving. So yeah, there's that. And this one here, you can see it's just idling, which is good. That was easy, the NPC, because it's just it's a clone of what I've already got. But this one over here, obviously Woofy is having a bit of a epileptic fit at the moment, and we need to fix that. See? Right. So, go out of this. Now, wolf locomotion, we go here. And idle. And that's what it's doing at the moment. Right. So we need to fix it. The wolf idle. Unassign motion. Reassign yes. So I've put them in here, and this is the wolf idle here. And it does that, right? Which is because it's a clone of the run, right? Which is ironic because the running doesn't work. And the wolf walking obviously doesn't work, right? So we've got idle, run, and wolf. Walk. Wolf. Right, walk. So we save, close. Now, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through it. We're going to redo this guy. And so that's the wolf, which is the parent, which is just the normal one. And then we've got the wolf idle, right? And at the moment we just got that. So there's no animations or anything attached to this. It's just the wolf's sort of object, which I probably shouldn't have joined them all together, but I did. And then we can go through and we can delete that. Right. So now we're going to go through right. So this is Blender animation. What if I put that character animation? So let me go through and
select this IK controller.
right, that's what we want. Now
Select this IK controller and hold down Shift and select this bone and go Shift I, which is add IK, and then set it to active bone. So now you can. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can rig any creature in Blender. If you wanted to learn rigging for a while but haven't yet found that one workflow that just works, this is it. This is the one. So I did make a tutorial about this a few months back, but in that workflow I'm using multiple armature objects in the same rig. I'm placing empty objects left and right. I'm adding weird constraints. I'm basically digging myself a hole for 55 minutes straight. So since then I've learned a lot and I've got a much easier and faster workflow that I can't wait to show you. So here we are in Blender version 3.3, and we're going to start out by deleting everything and creating an armature object. And inside of this object, our entire rig is going to be placed. Bones and IK constraints and everything. So let's go to edit mode, and now you can see that we can edit this bone. So let's view this from the side, and you can select one of the end pieces here, and you can hold down Control, and it will snap to the grid. And a nice way to make this always snap to the grid is to enable this magnet icon. You can also press Shift Tab. So here we are in Blender version 3.3, and we're going to start out by deleting everything and creating an armature object. And
so animation, actually layout, record to the front. Now, we're going to add an armature.
inside of this object, our entire rig is going to be placed. Bones and IK constraints and everything. So let's go to edit mode, and now you can see that we can edit this bone. So let's view this from the side, and you can select one of the end pieces here, and you can hold down Control, and it will snap to the grid. And a nice way to make this always snap to the grid is to enable this magnet icon. You can also press Shift Tab. So now you can move this around, and it will always snap to the grid, which is going to make it a lot easier to place these mechanical parts after we've made the rig. Okay, so this bone is going to be our core bone, and I want to make a 6-legged insect. So let's start out by making the 2 front legs first, and then duplicate them and work our way backwards. So
now, obviously, we're not making a 6-legged dog, but the principle still stays the same, right?
let's view this from the top, and to duplicate our core bone, let's go Shift D, and now let's go R and then rotate it by 90 degrees. Let's hold down Control. So let's extrude this by selecting this part and pressing E. Let's do 2 meters, and then let's do one more with 2 meters, and then actually let's do one more. I think you can press Shift R. Yeah, okay, perfect. So each leg is going to be 4 parts. I think that's good. So let's do this for the other side as well. Shift.
Alright. Alright, that'll be for the head. That'll be for the arm. Alright. Alright, so this part here goes down to roughly there. This part goes down to, so about there, there, and there. Okay, side view, and G, like that. So there should be a joint around there and probably around here. Right, and then that takes us up to the head, right there, like that, right, and then to there, and then extrude up to the head, and then sorry, and then we want to extrude that to the ear. Up to there, right? Because that way we can move his ears. We also want to move the mouth. So that would be, this one here would be the head. That we'll call probably shoulders. That'll be front hip, back, there. And then extrude that down to there, so down to there, extrude that down to there, and extrude that down to there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right, and then that we want to extrude that to the back. and then extrude that along there, like that, right? So he's got some bones in his tails. His tail, sorry. Right. Now, go to the top view. Now we want to move this along the x-axis to roughly there. Move that along the x-axis to there. X-axis to there. X-axis to there. X-axis to there. To about there, right? That's his tail. Is that? No, that one there is what we want. Sorry. G to about there. Right. That there. And now this one, we want to move that. And G, we want to move that to roughly about there as well. Right. We need to change the mouth. About there. And then we want to extrude that. No, we can actually just duplicate this. Right. So that's the head. We want to extrude. I suppose we go like that, I suppose. I suppose that would work, right? Let's find out. G. There. Right. So we got the ear, the head, the neck, to the spine, to the tail, to the back legs.
D and place it here. E, extrude, extrude, extrude. Now these are going to be the legs, but we are also going to be using something called inverse kinematics, which basically means
Safe.
that we want some controller bones at the edge of these legs. So let's make one more bone, but let's just make it a
Yeah, so we want to do that too, right? So we want to extrude that. We want to stick it out like that. close at the end. Like that. As well. It's that one.
Short one like this. And let's do it over here as well. Okay, so let me just disable the snapping for now. What's really important about these bones is that these cannot be connected to this because that's going to mess things up. So you want to select these IK controllers and go Alt-P.
Alt-P, clear parent.
Clear parent. So now this is an individual bone. And then this one, clear parent.
Right, we're going to do that with all of them. So... E to there, E to there, Alt P, clear parent, that Alt P, clear parent. Sorry, that one, no. Alt P, and what was your... Alt P, clear parent. Alt P, clear parent. Right, and that Alt P, clear parent.
Parent. Now what we have our core bone, we have our right leg, we have our left leg, and we have these IK controllers at the edges. Perfect. So now we can test this rig by going to pose mode. So let's go to pose mode. You can also press Control tab and just pull down like this. And here you can see that these bones are all connected.
Those ones aren't. That one is. Where's my head? I need to make that connected to these. Try it again. Why is it not? I want those to be joined.
connected to each other. So you could animate your legs like this. This would take a long time. Like, can you imagine how long this would take? So we are going to use something called inverse kinematics.
I'm actually wondering if it's better that the actual back legs are disconnected.
Which is amazing. So select this IK controller and hold down shift and select this bone and go shift I. Which is add IK and then set it to active bone. So now you can select the IK controller and you can move this around and it looks good. Let's do this for the other leg as well. Select the IK controller.
Alright, hang on, let's open it. No, don't save. Extrude out. Control P, no, Alt P, clear parent. Now, and what we do?
Which is add IK and then set it to active kinematics, which is amazing. So select this IK controller and hold down shift and select.
Ah, we gotta do it in pose. That's why. Shift I. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4.
This bone and go Shift I, which is add IK, and then set it to active bone. So now you can select the IK controller and you can move this around.
No, I can't because
And it looks good. Let's do this for the other leg as well. Select
it didn't work. It didn't work for me for some reason.
a long time. Like, can you imagine how long this would take? So we are going to use something called inverse kinematics, which is amazing. So select this IK controller and hold down Shift and select this bone and go Shift I, which is
Yeah, he only does the one. Right. Shift I, make active bones.
add IK and then set it to active bone. So now you can select the IK controller and you can move this around and it looks good.
Yeah,
Let's do
mine,
this for the other
bro,
leg as well.
mine don't do that. I don't understand why.
2 meters. And then actually, let's do one more. I think you can press Shift R. Place these mechanical parts after we've made the rig. Okay, so this bone is going to be our core bone. And I want to make a 6-legged insect. So let's start out by making the 2 front
Right, let's try this again, shall we?
legs first, and then duplicate them and work our way backwards. So let's view this from the top, and to duplicate our core bone, let's go Shift D, and now let's go R, and then rotate it by 90 degrees.
Right, now. edit, there's G, there, G, there. Now, Shift D, that's one leg.
degrees. Let's hold down control. So let's extrude this by selecting this part and pressing E. Let's do 2 meters, and then let's do one more with 2 meters, and then actually let's do one more. I think you can press Shift R. Yeah, okay, perfect. So each leg is going to be 4 parts. I think that's good. So let's do this for the other side as well. Shift D and
now we go into pose mode. Edit mode, sorry. Like that.
place it.
Can we just duplicate that? There are X, G to that, G to there.
here. Extrude, extrude, extrude. Now these are going to be the legs. But we are also going to be using something called inverse kinematics, which basically means that we want some controller bones at the edge of these legs. So let's make one more bone, but let's just make it a short one like this. And let's do it. Over here as well. Okay, so let me just disable the snapping for now. What's really important about these bones is that these cannot be connected to this, because that's going to mess things up. So you want to select these IK controllers and go Alt P, clear. Parent. So now this is an individual bone, and then this one. Clear parent. Now what we have our core bone, we have our right leg, we have our left leg, and we have these.
Try this again. Add amateur. Sorry, edit. There. there. Right, that's the core bone. I wonder if that's going to be a problem. It's seemingly wanting to name it Amateur 01 and it won't accept. Hang on. Let me go through. Let's go through and not that. This. Control C. File open, don't save. Wolf new, wolf idle. Delete, delete, delete. That. Wolf skeleton, we delete. We want to delete the light. I don't know if we should leave that. Now add amateur. Right, we're back to amateur now, not amateur 000. Now we want to go through and go into edit mode. This we put up here, this we bring there, save. Go to z-axis, G there, G there. Right, so duplicate it. Right. And that means that we should have now the bone and the bone, right? We can rename that to left back leg, back leg dot left, because we're going to actually do some technical shit here in a sec. G to there, G to there, extrude to there, extrude down to there, and extrude to there. Now we put that over there, that we'll put there, that we'll put there. Like that. And now Probably base it off a real wolf skeleton. Right? Images. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they have about 4 in their legs. Like that. 2 there. 2. Oh, sorry. 2. There. Yeah. Hmm. One, two, three, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that technically should be about there. Like that. Actually wondering if I'm supposed to detach those ones like the legs. I presume I am, but so So that gives us the back leg. That gives us, so that gives us the bone. That gives us the back leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's supposed to go. So, yeah, so that. I wonder if I got too many bones in that vertebrae actually. There you go. 3 is probably enough. So that's the bone there, which makes the backbone, I suppose, right? I suppose that's what he's going to do. And that, we'll copy that, And that we make front leg left. Saying 7. What's the 7 for? There, 3. That's interesting. When you delete it from the actual preview, it doesn't delete it from the actual history, from the I'm not sure if I'm supposed to extend the tail or create a new one. He doesn't really explain why we make new ones.
IK controllers at the edges. Perfect. So now we can test this rig by going to pose mode. So let's go to pose mode. You can also press Control Tab and just pull down like this. And here you can see that these bones are all connected to each other. So you could animate your legs like this. This would take a long time. Like, can you imagine how long?
Right, so let's go into post mode. We'll save. And G. Yeah, so we can animate this. Yeah. Right.
This would take. So we are going to use something called inverse kinematics, which is amazing. So select this IK controller and hold down Shift and select this bone and go Shift I.
Right, so now we need to go through and edit mode, sorry. That and extend it up. Extend it up. That's our 2 controllers. Now we need to separate them. So
Test this rig by going to pose mode. So let's more bone, but let's just make it a short one like this. And let's do it over here as well. Okay, so let me just disable the snapping for now. What's really important about these bones is that these cannot be connected to this because that's going to mess things up. So you want to select these IK controllers and go Alt P.
right. So that Alt P, clear parent, Alt P, clear parent.
Clear parent. So now this is an individual bone, and then this one, clear parent. Now what we have our core bone, we have our right leg, we have our left leg, and we have these IK controllers at the edges. Perfect. So now we can test this rig by going to pose mode. So let's go to pose mode. You can also press Control Tab and just pull down like this. And here you can see that these bones are all connected to each other. So you could animate your legs like this. This would take a long time. Like, can you imagine how long this would take? So we are going to use something called inverse kinematics, which is amazing. So select this IK controller and hold down Shift and select this bone and go Shift I, which is add IK, and then set it to active bone. So now you can select it.
Right. So, oops, sorry, we got to do it in pose. Like that. And Shift I, active bones. Why does it automatically flip it? Why is it? I don't get why you do that. Like when he does his, it doesn't change.
The IK controller and you can move this around and it looks good. Let's do this for the other leg as well. Select the
So Shift I, active bones. Did that work? No, because it's supposed to make the second one. Right. So, hang on, I don't get why this is not working.
For the other leg as well, select the IK. So now you can select the IK controller and you can move.
Yeah, okay, dude.
Select this IK controller and hold down Shift and select this bone and go Shift I.
Right, click on that, go hold down Shift, click on that, go Shift I, active bone. Ah, okay. I was highlighting it, maybe wrong. There we go, cool. We got it. Alright, now we want to do the same with this. So we highlight the bone, hold down Shift, click, go Shift I, active bone. Right, we're getting there.
Which is add IK and then set it to active bone. So now you can select the IK controller and you can move this around.
Yep,
and it looks
we
good.
got that
Let's
now.
do this for the other leg as well. Select the IK controller first and then this bone and then Shift I to active bone. So now we got this IK controller here and we got it here. But there's one thing that we've forgotten to do. We have forgotten to connect these legs to the core bone. So let's go back to edit mode by pressing tab. Let's select the first bone of each leg, this, and then hold down Shift and select the core bone.
Right, so we do have to connect them. Fuck a duck. Right, it's not a problem. Oh, mine's not all connected to the same core bone. We're going to try something. Shift, right, so go back into edit mode, he said. Click on that. Click on the core bone.
Control P and make.
Control. What if we duplicate that back leg? Oops. Duplicate. Right. GX. Sorry, GX. Oh, not that far. So that's not a controller anymore, is it? No. Right, so that is the back leg. That's the bone. Where are you? Let's Let's open, don't save, idle. Right. God damn it, pose mode. We go to object. Front leg, left, back leg. That's actually back leg, left. I forget what he calls that now. Right. What does he call it?
And then this one, clear. Cannot be connected to this because that's going to mess things up. So you want to select these IK controllers and go all
IK controllers. So front leg IK dot left, and then that is back leg IK left. So they're the IK controllers, and they're the front legs. Yeah. And that's the bone there. Now, G, we put that up to there. G down to there. That there. Like that. There. Right, now. Oh, that's the wrong way. there. There, that should be better. Now that is the back left leg, back leg left, back leg right, and now duplicate again, there, G goes there, G goes to there, G like that, to there, to there, to there, to there. And that one is right. Now we need to clear parent on that one. Clear parent on that one. We go to pose mode. Alright, so those two are right. Now this one, that we go Shift I, IK to active bone, Shift I to active bone. There we go. So the four legs are now hooked into the active bone. Save.
Alt P, clear parent. So now this is an individual bone, and then like this. We want the IK controllers to stop here at the center. So to fix this, parent keep these legs to the core bone. So let's go back to edit mode by pressing tab. Let's select the first bone of each leg, this and these legs to the core bone. So let's go back to edit mode by pressing tab. Let's select the first bone of each leg, this, and then hold down shift and select the core bone, Control P, and make parent keep offset. So
right, so we select, go back to edit mode, I think he said. Select each leg.
to connect these legs to the core bone. So let's go back to edit mode by pressing tab. Let's select the first bone of each leg, this, and then hold down shift and select the core bone.
Right, and then hold down shift and select that.
Control P and
so Control P, Control P, keep offset. That didn't work. Hang on. Try this again.
bone. So now we got this IK controller here and we got it here. But there's one thing that we've forgotten to do. We have forgotten to connect these legs to the core bone. So let's go back to edit mode by pressing tab. Let's select the first bone of each leg, this, and then hold down shift and select the...
So this.
each leg, this, and then
It keeps wanting to.
So now we got this IK controller here and we got it here. But there's one thing that we've forgotten to do. We have forgotten to connect these legs to the core bone. So let's go back to edit mode by pressing tab. Let's select the first bone of each leg, this, and then hold down shift and select the core.
Okay, you say select, but you don't say exactly how you select. And it's obviously not just click. This is what's frustrating about fucking tutorials. Shift left mouse, shift middle mouse, shift left mouse. It's not connecting right, dude.
Control P and make parent keep offset. So now we got this relationship line here, which is perfect. But now when we go back to pose mode, things are going to look really weird. Now let's try and move this around. Look at that. Yeah, this is a little bit weird. So what's happening here is that both of these IK constraints are trying to control the entire rig. Like
Oh, that seemed to be better. That's not. So... Oh, I think it's Control Alt Shift. Sorry, Control Shift. I think what the problem is, this. Alright, so now if I go into pose, right, we've still got all of the stuff right, and we've only got the one control. Let's just do exactly as he does it. Control, so. Alright, we want to go back into edit mode, control, shift that, control P, keep offset. That didn't work. So shift control, shift alt maybe. That did the opposite. Control P, keep offset. No. Shift Alt. Alt P. No, sorry. Control P. Ah! You're not gonna fucking believe this. The bone's back to front. I swear people are probably sitting there yelling in at the screen. It's back to front! Right. Right, so now if I move that away, I've got that. If I move that away, I've got that. Is that going to the Yep, goes to that. Right. Now, if we go back into pose, we should have the same problem that he does. Yep, we got the same problem.
Now when we go back to pose mode, things are going to look really weird.
Oh yeah.
Now let's try and move this around. Look at that. Yeah, this is a little bit weird. So what's happening here is that both of these IK constraints are trying to control the entire rig like this. We want the IK controllers to stop here at the center. So to fix this, let's select one of the bones with the IK controller. Let's go to bone
Yeah.
constraint properties. And here you can see the chain length is set to 0, which is basically infinity. But if you set it to wireframe shading, you can see that when we start increasing this, you can see that we're
So we want it to be 4.
changing the chain length, and we want it to stop here. So now when we move this, it works as intended again. So let's do this for the other one as well. Okay, sweet, this is all coming together. Okay, so now let's try and give our rig an interesting pose, and I'm going to show you a really big problem with this rig. So let's place this here, let's place this here, and now we can take this core.
Right, I need to go to the toilet. Be right back, guys.
Core bone, you can move this up, you can rotate it around, and it's looking quite powerful already. However, if you move the IK controllers, you can see that these legs move really unnaturally. It doesn't make sense. Look at that. No one walks like this. So to fix this weird behavior, we can go over to the bone properties under inverse kinematics, and we can start locking the different axes of the bone. So for example, we want this bone to lay completely flat, and then we want it to go up like this. So let's just try it. Let's see. X-axis, okay, it's not that one, it's not that one, there we go, it's the Z-axis. And then let's also move this a little bit over here so we can see, yeah, we also want to clean up this little weird rotation. So now this bone is only rotating on the X-axis like this. This bone as well is probably going to be the same axis. Yep, yeah, okay, so that looks correct. Okay, so now let's do this other.
So yeah, I don't know if I need to really lock any of mine, but
bones. But these 3 bones are going to have the same axis. So let's hold down shift and select all of them. So now we can hold down alt and try this on all these bones. So yeah, this looks correct. And then it's going to be the y-axis as well. Okay, good. So now all these bones have their x and y-axis locked, and they can only move on the z-axis. Look at that. This looks like a lot more natural leg movement. Yeah, now this bone essentially only moves like this, and these bones will only move like this. So it's a lot easier to make these joint or use the joint objects in, for example, the mechanical creature kit. Okay, so now we have to do the same for the other leg. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we want to add more legs, but before we do that, I just like to reset the position of these bones. So press A to select everything, go to pose, clear, transform, all. So let's go back to edit mode. Now we're going to duplicate these legs, and at this point in the tutorial, you can choose how many legs you want. I want 6 legs in total. So let's click and drag, and let's hold down shift and click and drag. Let's go shift D, hold down control, and let's do 2 meters. Let's go shift R, so it's like this. Now what we can do is you can go back to pose mode again, select all these IK controllers, and you can move them down. And then if you like, you can actually scale these down. And once you scale them in, you can press Alt S to reset the scale. So
right, well, I only need 2 legs, right? So
click and drag, and let's hold up the mechanical creature kit. Okay, so now we have to do the same for the other leg. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we want to add more legs, but before we do that, I just like to reset the position of these bones. So press A to select everything, go to
select A, get it, everything.
Pose, clear, transform, all.
Pose, transform, clear, transform, all. Right, well, didn't do much, but cool.
So let's go back to edit mode. Now we're going to duplicate these legs, and at this point in the tutorial, you can choose how many legs you want. I want 6 legs in total. So let's click and drag, and let's hold down shift and click and drag. Let's go. Go shift D, hold down control.
Right.
A to select everything, go to pose, clear, transform, all. So let's go back to edit mode. Now we're going to duplicate these legs, and at this point in the tutorial, you can choose how many legs you want. I want 6 legs in total. So let's click and drag, and let's hold up.
Right. Yeah.
Hold down shift and click and drag. Let's go shift D, hold down control.
Now if I go shift D. Oh, hang on. Hang on. So shift and drag, shift and drag, shift D, and like that. So on the side, go G, like that. We go to the front row, G, sorry, X, like that. And then put this one back here, put this one back here, like that.
Control, and let's do 2 meters. Let's go Shift R, so it's like this. Now what we can do is you can go back to pose mode again, select all these IK controllers, and you can move them down. And then if you like, you can actually scale these down. And once you've scaled them in, you can press Alt S to reset the scale. So you're basically just adjusting the location. And then let's move these. Okay, perfect. So that's it. Now you got yourself a 6-legged creature with IK set up, and it's actually really easy to work with. And what's really cool about this is that if you go to object mode, you can select the rig, you can go to object data properties, and you can set it to rest position. So now you can see that all these bones are perfectly aligned with the grid. So it's really easy to just add objects. So I know it's a little bit of an unusual workflow, but for me, this has been really nice for just figuring out creatures and coming up with unique shapes. It feels a little bit backwards at first, but once you get used to making first the rig and then adding the objects, it's really nice actually. So my workflow usually consists of this. I first make the rig and then I set it to the rest position, and then I use my mechanical creature kit, which I just launched. You can check it out, link in description. So here you can take one of these joints, for example. Let's take one of these and let's take one of these. So now you could press tab and select one of these points, press Shift S and pull down and go cursor to selected. And then you can select one of these and go Shift S and then go selection to cursor. So now when we zoom in on this, let's rotate it. Here you can see that this is going to be perfectly lined up. Look at that. And you can just scale it up. And then you could take this one. Let me just hide this. So now here you could scale this up. And now these will perfectly line up. So now you can parent these objects to the armature. So select the armature, select the bone, and then Control P to the bone, which is highlighted. And then take another bone like this and parent to bone. So now you can take the rig and you can go back to pose position. Now you would have this bone that is, it just works.
Pose mode.
Okay, so what's really cool about this workflow is that it actually opens up the possibilities to really make any type of rig. So now what I want to try and make is I want to try and use these same principles to make a much more advanced rig. I want to make like a hand that is rigged similar to a walking creature, but it's a hand instead. I haven't tried this yet, so I just want to see if that's possible. So let me just make a new blend file. I'm going to make an armature. Yeah, so we're going to have a core bone. So this will be the index finger, I think. Wait, hang on. This should be longer. Yeah, that's good, I think. And then this will be the IK bone. I had to think for a moment there. Okay, so this is going to be one finger. Let's first just set this up. Let's clear the parent. Let's go to pose mode. And let's set this up as an IK. Okay, that works. Now we have to parent these. Keep offset. Change the chain length to 3. Okay, that's good. And in edit mode, we want to duplicate the fingers. 3. So that's 4 fingers. And then I want to make the thumb, which is probably over here somewhere. And I think that should only be like 2, right? 1, 2, yeah. And parent this. Keep offset. And then clear the parent on this. And add the IK. Boop. Okay, nice. Look at that. Now this could be like a hand that is walking around. Oh no, we forgot to do the... A hand doesn't move like that. I forgot to lock the IKs. So I'm just going to do it for one of them instead. I'm not sure if this is going to work. If we look... Yeah, this will be really weird. Yeah, this is going to have to move up. That's the only way. But maybe we could limit it. Maybe there. Oh, it still just doesn't... It just ignores that. That's that's weird. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in rigging that just doesn't make sense. Okay, so that's one finger. Now we can go back to edit mode and we can duplicate our fingers. We got a rigged hand, which look at that. I think this could be a really cool walking hand thing. Okay, so that is the workflow I usually use to rig creatures. I like to make the rig first as a way to...
Unfortunately, he doesn't really tell me what to do with the rest of the stuff now. Like, how do we attach the mesh to the bones? Alright, guys, this will be it for now. I know we haven't done a lot tonight, but I'm going to have to go and have a look at this stuff, and that should be front. Okay, left, front. Okay, left, like that. There we go. So we got the front left, front leg left, front left right, and then we got the bones. I'm wondering if I should actually put the bones for the back. Not sure about the legs, whether the legs should be on the same bone or on a different bone. I would think if I went through and extracted, sorry, like that. I would think you would put the legs under those. Under that front one. Right? I suppose that's how it would go.
to outline the core.
Dog. Can I have that, please? What the hell is this music? Seriously, bro. I don't think this is the right. This is not the animation skeleton.
This is chapter 5 of CG Dive's Rigify course, and we'll be rigging this good boy here, but I'll also try to provide information on rigging other types of quadrupeds, such as a horse, a bear, and so on. We will also set up a face rig for the dog, so I think it will be an interesting lesson. Let's dive in. I got this model on Sketchfab. Big thanks to All of Life for making this model available under the CC attribution license, which we can use for the tutorial. So you can download this model from Sketchfab, or as always, you can get my tweaked version from the Academy resource files. I tweaked the model a little bit. I split it into separate meshes, which will make the process a little bit easier. So we have the main body mesh. I'll hide it. I have the eyes, and the original model didn't have eyeballs, so I modeled them. The texture is kind of incomplete, but you'll forgive me for that. We have the upper teeth as a separate object, lower teeth, and whiskers. I also tweaked the mouth shape a little bit. In the original model it was drooping quite a lot, so that can make it hard to rig. I also lifted the ears a little bit. I think that will make them easier to rig and weight paint. And I straightened the tail. Having the tail bent will make it difficult to weight paint. In rigging, it is easier to bend something than to unbend it. So with that, we can start rigging. And again, we'll be using the pre-built meta rigs. So let's press Shift A, Armature, go to Animals. And there isn't a dog meta rig, but we have a wall.
Oh my fucking god, are you serious? Are you fucking... I've been doing this for how long and there's a preset? Oh my fucking god! Urgh! I don't have that option.
Wolf, which is similar enough. So create a wolf meta rig, scale it down to about the size of the dog.
Hang on, how did you get that?
So let's press Shift A, Armature, go to Animals.
Shift A. Shift A. Amateur. I don't have... No. Shift A. Amateur. he's in object mode. Blender. Not showing preset animals. It's an add-on. Dude, good to let people know that. Add-ons. Amateur, no, it's not. Okay, it's not an add-on. 4 point. We're up to 4.2. Help. Release notes. 4.1. 4.1. Is available in your Blender version. If you have an older version mentioned, consider updating to the latest version as you mentioned in the Blender 4.2 manual snippet. Verify is not hidden on the object properties display port in front of advertising. How do I create custom amateurs from scratch? What are practices? Bones amateurs aren't showing up as Rigify maybe. Preferences. Yep, Rigify. There we go. Wolf. The wolf's a bit big. So we scroll it down, and G. Scroll G. Like that. And that, and G, X, there. GX. Oh wow, they've even done the hands. Holy shit. Alright, let's go through and... Right. G... 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 G, like that. Side view. G, right there. G is there. G is there. G is there. G is there. Like that. Obviously I can be more specific with it. We just want to go through at the moment and see if it exports. I know this is a bit premature, but I'm going to go a bit soon. So that project and Wolf Idle. Now I minimize and Wolf locomotion, Wolf standard. And then we go and do that. God damn you. Alright, let's try it again. Alright. So let's bring up the job list. Jobs completed. Doesn't say. Oh, hang on. August. Here we go. So it did supposedly go through, but there were errors, which to be honest is not exactly uncommon because, well, it's literally just testing it at the moment. But if we go into here and we go into idle and yes. It's not showing up. That might be because there's no keyframes or anything on it. Alright, so
And there isn't a dog meta rig, but we have a wolf, which is similar enough. So create a wolf meta rig, scale it down to about the size of the dog, and as always press Ctrl A and apply the scale. Let's switch to solid shading and
I forgot to do that.
enable X-ray, go to edit mode, select all bones, and move them a little bit from the side view in the Y axis. Actually, I may want to go to object mode and scale the rig down a little bit more and again apply the scale. Then I'll go to edit mode and start aligning the bones. So first I want to align the tail, spine and head. If I place the mouse over a chain of bones and press L, that will select the whole chain. So let's select the tail, spine and neck and head and press Shift H. This will hide all of the other bones, so that will give me a clearer view and I can start aligning the bones. So this here is the tail and I can start aligning it. Now I want to align the start of the tail, and I hope you've watched the previous videos and remember that there is a common problem when disconnecting the neck of the character. We have the possibility of the exact same problem in the tail, so do not disconnect the tail from the spine. Box select over here and align these bones in one go. Now I'm going to take care of the connection between the spine and the neck, which is over here. I'll place it around here and then
right. I think I fucked that up. Let's go through and do that and then save, right, and then go add as wolf. Go on the side view, drop it down to about there, scale it down, and about there. That's about right. Yeah. Now, as he said, go into edit mode and move that to there, move that to there, move that to there, move that to there. And then move that to there like that.
align the rest of the spine. So as in the previous examples, I'm not trying to make the spine anatomically correct. I place it a little bit deeper into the body of the character. Then I'll start moving the neck bones, and this longer bone is the head bone, and the other two bones are neck bones. So this connection here is extremely important. This will become the point of rotation of the dog's head. You should try to find an image showing the anatomy of the animal you're rigging. I'm going to display an image on screen now. And so based on that image, I believe the point of rotation of the head should be around here. Now for this head bone, if you don't intend to rig the face, and I'll show you how to delete the face in a bit, but if you only have a head without a face, you should position this bone something like this, and this will help you with the automatic weights. Although if you don't care about automatic weights, you can also place the bone like this. And because I have a face rig, I'm actually going to position this head bone like this, because then the face bones will be over here and they won't compete with the head bone for the automatic weights. By the way, a slightly random tip: when I move bones with G in the viewport, maybe because of my sausage fingers, but I often press F instead of G, which actually creates a new bone, and that is not good. This can lead to problems when you try to generate, so be mindful of that, and if you press F, you have to undo and make sure that there's no additional bones in your rig. Also, sometimes I press H, which hides the bone. This is less of a problem, but still a little bit annoying, so I'll press Ctrl Z here to unhide it. So this is starting to look okay, so let's press Alt H. And now let's quickly cover what to do if you don't want a face for your quadruped. Select the neck and head bones and press H to hide them, and then just box select over all of these bones. Make sure that everything is selected, including this bone, which is called face, and then press X and delete all bones. I won't do it here, but this is how you can remove all face bones. Also, if I go to object mode, press Shift A and go to the basic meta rigs, we also have a basic quadruped where the head is already removed and also there are no finger bones. So if you have a simpler character, you may want to use this. Let's unhide everything, and next I'm going to focus on aligning the legs. So let's start with the front legs. Let's enable X symmetry, and then I'm going to actually select all leg bones, including this scapula bone or shoulder bone, and this breastbone, and again press Shift H to clean up the view, and that will just make it easier to work. So again, I'll display an image showing the anatomy of the dog. So the shoulder bone, which is actually a scapula, should be positioned like this. Then the rest of the leg I can select and scale down and move into place, and then start positioning the individual points. This is the upper leg for the dog. This is the lower leg and extends down to here. Then we have this bone, which is basically the palm if you compare it to a human. And this is the toes, and I'm going to extend it all the way to here because this becomes a point of rotation in the final rig. So it is important to place it somewhere around here. Then we have these palm and finger bones. I'll position them roughly. And actually, we have to look through the front view and select all bones like this and move them a little bit on the x-axis. Maybe rotate a little bit. As with the human, I'm trying to avoid moving these bones in the x-axis because a little bit of an offset is fine, but if you move it too much, the bending of the leg may become weird. Slight adjustments like this, and then we can focus on the fingers. I can hide some bones here. I think things got a little bit disconnected here. I'll isolate and zoom in on the palm. Switch to vertex snapping, and I can move this bone and snap it to the palm bone. And this palm bone, I'll snap to the finger it belongs to. And then I'll select these bones and rotate and move and scale them into place. Check everything from multiple views. This is looking okay to me, but of course you can use the volume snapping technique as we practiced in the previous lesson, and just move the bones and make sure that they're positioned correctly. Don't forget the rule that we established. Finger bones need to be straight from the top view and slightly bent from the side view, which I do by...
I probably should watch his other video because apparently I'm not getting this right.
By switching to normal orientation and then squashing the bone chain on the x-axis.
At the moment, I'm not real worried about this because chances are I'm not going to use this model anyway.
I'll press Alt-H and maybe work a little bit on this breastbone. This is what we rigged in the previous chapter. There are a lot of phase, so if you're sure that your bone alignment is good, press upgrade face rig and confirm. Again, if you need to make tweak, now in object mode, I'll select the main dog mesh, shift select the generated rig, press Ctrl P, and choose with automatic weights. And we got bone heat weighting error. That is the error that I mentioned in the previous chapter. And here it is. It is quite common, so you have to know how to deal with it. Again, I have a separate video showing about 10 different solutions to this problem because different characters react to different troubleshooting. But in this case, here's what you can do. If you start scaling up the rig now, the dog will scale up with it. And so if you press S and then type 100 on the numpad and then enter, the rig will be scaled up 100 times. If I select the dog and shift select the rig, and again parent with automatic weights, it will actually work. So this is one of the solutions. You just make your objects really huge. You have to trust me, it actually worked, but the dog shrunk down to its original size, whereas the rig is still huge. So here's what you do. Select your dog, press Alt P, clear parent, then select the rig and press Alt S to reset the scale. Then select the dog, shift select the rig, press Ctrl P, and choose Armature Deform. Now if I go to pose mode and try to move some of the controls, you'll see that the rig is controlling the mesh. So bone heat weighting problem fixed, we can move on. Let's take a second to...
Right, I need to watch this video. Alright guys, I know we didn't get a lot done tonight, but we're just playing around at the moment, so yeah, enjoy.